Hello, beautiful beings. Welcome to my channel if you're new, and welcome back if you're returning. Thank you for being here and sharing your energy with me. So uh, today's reading, I was guided to talk about failure and how that made you feel. Actually, I've got 4 downloads, so I'm going to do 4 separate videos about them. Failure and how that made you feel. It's an interesting topic for me. Yesterday I was watching this movie. It goes like a normal movie. The guy opens a restaurant, and while he opened the restaurant failed. Nobody goes there. And then I thought of my own journey, and my journey includes a lot of trying to be perfect. Everything that I did before I lost my identity. Not I didn't lose my identity, but yeah, I guess I can call it that. Before that um period of asking myself, who am I? I was perfect. I was perfect. I had a good job. Um, I would say upper middle class in South Africa. I had a good job, black female, with a PhD. So I was doing very well, like very, very well. And then one day, poof, boom, resigned, burnout, everything. Ended up with almost nothing. And the little that I had, I appreciated and I loved it. So I wasn't homeless. I still had a home. Got divorced. Still, ex-husband takes care of me. Boo takes care of me. And yeah, and I started this channel. And started writing some books, a lot of books. Because during the time I was on hermit mode, I wrote a lot of books, 3 kiddies books, did a lot of workbooks. And 3 months, 6 months down the line, after watching so many videos and so many things on how to be successful in any of these things I was doing, I got zero. Like, I got zero. Going back to this movie I was watching, when I watched this movie and this guy, nobody was coming to his restaurant, I realized, ooh, I'm failing, which is weird. You think you know you're failing. I was like, wait, for the first time I'm failing. And what was I was doing was I was going on and on and on and on and on. No, if I watch this more video anymore, and I was putting more effort. But instead of just taking a step back and saying, I am failing. So now, in me failing, what do I need to do? Because there was a point where, like, I've tried everything. I wanted to cry. I tried everything. I did everything. Oh, the universe hates me. But then I was like, wait, there's one thing I haven't done is I haven't acknowledged the fact that I'm failing. And there was so much beauty in that. So much beauty in being in the midst of something that you is perceived negative, but you also like it's negative. I wanted to cry for a moment. Then I was like, wow, I am failing. Like for the first time in my life, I'm not going back to something. I'm like, okay, if I fix this, then that happens because I love maths and stats. So logic for me is everything. And this is one of those hardest things I have to do where I have to just haphazardly, not haphazardly, but be guided in new situation where I have to be in my theta state and not in my, is it gamma, the highest, and that sort of alpha state. Now I have to be in theta state because I've got burnout. It is so interesting that I have to go with my intuition. And it has guided me to the most beautiful places, I will not lie. And spots and places within me that I never understood I had, you know, that I never understood I had. So when I look at it now and I see, oh, I'm failing, it's not a, you're failing, get better. It's you failing, now sit with that and ask yourself, what does that mean for you? Journal about it. What does that mean for you? Cry about it if you want to, express it, because once you do that and express that, then that's where the healing comes in. That's where then you're like, okay, it is not about doing more things that are not working for you and thinking that you're a failure. It's about how then do we shift certain things. And yes, I know I did books and I didn't do A plus content. But when you do Amazon, you're like, but I really truly haven't done marketing. So why am I now I'm thinking that I failed? I didn't fail. It's just that I didn't do a part of the thing. Then I'm like, oh, okay. Nobody's buying the workbooks. Nobody's buying the books. Nobody's reading. Nobody's doing anything. Nobody's watching me. So what do I do now? Now I market. And the funniest thing is I have a PhD in marketing. But then it goes with the fact that I didn't want, because I lost that identity, maybe tapping into that identity is also like, do I have to? But I see it slowly coming back. And because now that's the one thing that gave me burnout, I was like, I don't want to, I don't want to be in this space anymore. I'm done with this space. So now it's the test. And now I realize that, oh, I'm failing. I'm not failing because there was no effort. I was trying hard. It's because there's a part of me that I didn't want to tap into. And the part is the part that gave me burnout. So now when I come into this reading is, besides telling my story, it's like, what is the point and purpose? Is that it's hard for us to look at failure and go, failed. or fail and look, oh, I'm a failure, I failed. But we need to look at the reasons why we failed, and not the reasons that I tried hard and I did everything. It's like subconsciously in your mind, what is the one reason that caused you to fail or to think that you're failing or to perceive yourself as failing right now or a failure? Because that's when the work comes into. That's when once you look at the fear of failure and the perfectionism, because my perfectionism was driven by the fear of failure. So I had to come out guns blazing and do everything. But now that when I sit with failure and I sit, sorry, I'm shuffling my cards, if you heard that sound. Now, when I sit with failure and acknowledge failure, what I think is failure, I realize and I get to realize, no, I'm not failing. It's just that there's a part of my life that I really don't want to tap into because of what I believe maybe is the trauma of that burnout. That in my head I said, nope, I don't want to deal with this anymore. When I was in hermit mode, and then whatever. So now you go ask yourself, okay, what is it? Because somebody's like, yeah, somebody said to me the other day, oh yeah, it's always like other realms and other subconscious. Like, no, but it's not other realms, it's a subconscious mind. There's a lot that sits there that prevents us from being our best versions. And sadly, you can either look at it as sadly or fortunately, there are ways for us to come out of it, to come out of these things. And those are the ways that say, okay, how then do I tap into the subconscious mind? And one thing I love about the subconscious mind is that, which I guess now I get to market my workbooks because I do these workbooks. I have these workbooks and on Amazon. I think I'm going to put the links down there. That now you can go have a guided journal. When I started, I used to just write freehand. Like now, these days I journal freehand. But if you're not in that space where you just journal freehand and whatever comes to your mind, because I always say, ask the questions, ask the questions, ask the questions. I've trained myself to ask the questions, ask the questions, ask the questions. Well, maybe it's because my psychology degree and my maths degree has always led me to ask, and me being a researcher, ask, is that then those workbooks give you the platform or the thing that guide you to the issues that you deal with, guide you to the things. I gave someone once about finances, and they were like, "Oh my goodness, I didn't know this is what I had to deal with, and I didn't realize it." Because we don't realize certain things, so that's why we've got to write them down in our journals. And if you don't have, and if you don't know what to write about, then get a guided journal, get a guided workbook. It doesn't have to be mine; it can be anybody else's. But you get a guided thing that says, "Okay, it asks you questions. It asks you to write. Here's a vision board. How do you see yourself now? How do you see yourself in the future? How do you see yourself in the past also?" Because those are the things, I did this life coach thing, and then the life coach is saying that no, you must only look at the future. But I mean, you gotta heal the past at some point before you get into that future. Otherwise, you're gonna get into that future with very unstable and wounded energy, if I may say. So yeah, so then you get to points where you just journal and you just journal about anything you want to journal about, or the things that, not anything, I guess, the fears that you have, the things that are stopping you from reaching your goals and stopping you from being where you need to be, and put a lot of your emotions in there, and let it flow, let it glow. Don't stop yourself. Don't stop yourself. So I like taking cards. Now I got a Page of Cups. Don't stop yourself from talking about it. And Page of Cups is always seen as the inner child card. Don't stop yourself from writing about, I guess, inner child, your inner child, and all these fears are coming from our inner child. Write about it. Write about, oh, that one time where you might think in your conscious mind is irrelevant, but it caused a lot of either trauma, pain, anxieties, or anything that comes to your mind. Because once you express those emotions and let it flow, you will then, get to a point where you give yourself unconditional love, especially in that when you transform and you transition into that higher self, into that highest timeline, sorry. And that highest timeline is your highest vibrational space. That space where now you feel joy, that space. I gotta tell you guys a story. This other day I was sitting and I started laughing. Like somebody looked at me like, why are you laughing? Like laughing from the belly. And I said, I don't know. And I said, I really, really don't know. But every time something comes up now, I just start giggling. But then I realized and I learned that no, that's when now your body is working and taking out the negative energies. Now it's through laughter. And every time I laugh, I quickly get back into, oh, high vibration. But it's just my way of processing things. I love to laugh generally. I love to laugh, like I love to laugh. But now this laughter, it comes from the belly, like it comes from the belly and unknown, and I will kill it laughing. So that's what works for me, and that's what gets me into my highest timeline. But also, I've done so much work, and even when I laughed, then I laughed uncontrollably. Okay, not too much. I still went and I looked, okay, and I researched, okay, why am I laughing and what's that got to do with my vibration and changing and switching up, my vibrational frequencies. It's because, like, my soul or spirit guides or all the spirit guides, the dragons and the fairies, which tickle my nose, are saying, look, man, we gotta make you laugh here. To just, it's like a one-way boost to just change who you are, like not change who I am, but change the situation and just process this as quickly and as fast as possible and not, dare I say, wallow in self-pity unnecessarily, if I may put it like that. So yeah, um, this then, when you do this, as I said, not wallow in self-pity, you are able then to look at yourself, from a higher perspective. You're able to look at yourself from a place of, oh, I'm able to do this, I can do this for myself, and see things from a big picture. So if anything happens to you, at least when you are in that vibrational state and you've done the work, then you'll see those failures that you have, the things that you have are not seriously failures. You'll see them, like me, I saw a bigger picture. I'm like, I'm just avoiding PhD because because that's the thing that gave me burnout in the first place, and that's why I'm here. But if I could just go back to it, I'll be okay. Created my A plus content, waiting for it to be approved, and voila. And then there's other things I'm going to do. Now I'm talking about it. Now I'm talking about it, which is the thing I was avoiding. So, um, it's yeah, it's amazing. I must say, it's amazing when you get there and you understand your failures and where they stem from, and you journal about it. Because when you look back at your journals, you'll see that, oh, I've grown. I've got so many tools and resources to help me to where I need to go. So I pulled out a card from Rebecca Campbell, which is a Work Your Light. It says, it's Imrama, I think. Where are you being called to journey to? So within the space of, can I say, failing, where are you called to journey into? And because there's a lot of water here, it's, for me, it's like focus on those emotions that you have when you not only think about failure or with the times you failed or when as a kid, what failure meant to you. If you want to share your story, you can share your story in the comments. If you don't, it is your story, it is your healing story. I'm also not a fan of because I fear being seen. I guess this is me imposing myself. Is I'm not a fan of tell me your story or tell other people your story. If it's your story, it's your story, and if you want to keep it to yourself, keep it to yourself. But please do like and share. And also, if you are called and you're happy to called to comment, please do comment. So ask yourself, I guess the exercise for this week and the things you can journal about is, where are you being called to journey to, especially within the emotions and failure, as in like failure and emotions around failure. Go into your subconscious mind, go into your inner child, go into any part of your, whether it's relationships, go in there, work, anything you started, and what emotions come up when you think about that. This is all from me, folks. Thank you so much for being here. I truly appreciate it. Where you exchange your energy with me and I get to read the collective. I really, really appreciate it. And always remember to be bold, be beautiful, be you. Thank you so much. Bye.